Hail adventurers! Pwnestar here from Pwnestar Gaming. I am really excited to kick off my WoW videos with week 3 of Shadowlands. Castle Nathria drops, Mythic Plus is out, Torghast layers 4, 5, and 6 are out there. There is a lot going on for week 3, and I'm going to help you get through this week with the most amount of loot possible. So sit back and let's figure all this out. Alright, and what's the very first thing that we should do? Easy. Find the world boss, get in a pug, and go kill that bad boy. It's going to be an easy shot for your chance at an item level 207 piece of gear. That's pretty high, especially considering Castle Nathria is only going to be dropping item level 200 for normal mode. If you do happen to get that piece and then you go directly into a raid, it's really going to help boost you up jumping in there. There's going to be a rotation of 4 different world bosses, all with their different place, location, and different sets of abilities. Alright, so now that we have finished the world boss and we've gotten our awesome 207 item level item, then we want to rush into Castle Nathria. Now this is assuming you don't have a guild that's already got a set date or whatever and you're pugging. Now I want to give you a piece of advice and say definitely pug this earlier on than later. The later ones you're going to find a lot more of the people that just keep failing the mechanics and just can't seem to get it, and they're just trying over and over and over again. The early on ones are going to be a lot more of the people that have done the research on the fights and they're ready to get in there and get going. Also, you might end up finding one of those early on guilds that have a pretty well coordinated group. They just are lacking a few people here and there, so you might be jumping into a much more organized group early on. So definitely early on. Now the normal item level, 200 like we said, but heroic is going to be 213. Also, you want to make sure that you get as many of these bosses that you can. That way for your Great Vault, which we'll talk a little bit more about here in just a minute. Alright, and for most of the week, you will be running Mythic Plus dungeons. Now, the Mythic Plus dungeons are really fun, right? For Mythic 10, you're going to be getting item level 203 gear. Now everything before that you're going to get less, and everything past that you're going to get the same. So Mythic level 10 is going to be that sweet spot that you're going to get the highest amount of end of dungeon loot. Now there is the weekly Great Vault. Now the weekly Great Vault is going to take your 10 highest keys, and that's how it's going to calculate your weekly Great Vault for that particular area. Now a Mythic 10 is going to grant you 220 item level. So if you ran 10 Mythic 10 dungeons, you would get in your weekly Great Vault item level 220. So make that your goal. Now I am going to say Mythic 10 on the first week of Mythic Plus release, that's going to be really, really difficult. I don't know if I myself will make it near there, but I'm going to do my darndest. And since we're on the subject of the Great Vault, let's go ahead and talk about that for our previous subject, Castle Nathria, the raid. Now, the highest amount of gear that you can choose from for the Great Vault is going to be heroic. Let's say that you did 7 out of 10 bosses in heroic and you did all 10 in normal. Well, what that's going to do is that's going to give you a choice of 2 heroic pieces and 1 normal piece, and you're going to pick one out of the 3 for your selection. Now also keep in mind, even if you do the 10 Mythic 10 dungeons, you do your 10 out of 10 heroic bosses, and then you do our next subject, which is 6,250 honor gained from raided battlegrounds or arenas, then you're still only going to get to pick 1 piece of loot out of the 9 choices. So keep that in mind. Alright, now for the PvP. Like previously said, the only way that you gain credit towards the PvP Great Vault is by doing rated PvP. So that means a rated battleground or rated arenas. Now, there is a conquest cap at 550. Keep that in mind. So that means only 550 conquest a week. Now what I did notice is that if I only got 450 one week, I could get 650 the following week. Meaning that it's I don't know the right word, but the cap moves along with the week. Also guys, Torghast layers 4, 5, and 6 are out. So make sure you go clear both sets of those layers. That way you can get more ash and get those really cool legendaries that we're all crafting. Also, if you didn't know, hit Shift J and you can go into powers, and it's actually going to show you every single legendary recipe that you can make, as well as what slot those powers can go into and where that recipe drops from. Other than that, guys, use your free time to get yourself up to Renown 9, as that is the maximum renown that you can get to this week. And then also knock out your weekly dungeon quests and your weekly quests. I plan on making at least one World of Warcraft video a week, as well as continue to the Ultima Online Outland server video a week. I hope that you guys found this video to be helpful for you, and I know that just by doing this video I feel more comfortable with what I'm going to be stepping into this week. And if so, that's you, make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe, as I will be continuing to do more of these videos. Thank you guys very much. Bone Star Gaming out.